Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Bad Moon's Orbit. I am, as always, your frazzle-git shaman, Dalton Montgomery.
And I'm Darian of Green Gables.
Ooh. Friends, dear listeners, it's time. We're here.
It's time? We've made it?
We've made it.
Oh my gosh, where are we?
This is going to be an episode where a lot of questions get answered for you and our listeners. Both. If you have seen the title of this episode, you already know where I'm going. Then you have exciting things to look forward to. Darian.
Yeah?
Today we're going to talk about the bad moon.
What? We finally did it!
We're here!
Yay!
That's right. Today's episode is about the bad moon, and by extension, it is about the people who worship it. Today's episode is about the Gloomspite Gitz.
I'm so excited!
If you could hear the exuberation in my voice, listeners, it's because I'm excited to be recording.
Yay!
And excited to be back. You're definitely hearing these after our hiatus, after we started recording again, after our hiatus, after the Bellacore episode and whatnot. But also, extra bonus tinge of excitement in my voice because, dear listeners, this is the army that I play.
Goblin plays Goblins and Orc Boys.
Yeah, this is my main faction. I play a couple, but Gitz is where my heart lies. And I'm very excited to talk about them today.
Let's go!
But before we do, game stuff. Derry, do you have a game thing that you would like to share?
Yeah, so I've been listening to Worlds Beyond Number.
Really good.
Yeah, Dylan Hunter was right. I don't need to get into it. I knew he was going to be right. This is not news. But yeah, it's great, and I love it, and I recommend it. And yeah, that's all I need to say on that.
Hell yeah.
We don't need to get into it.
Nope, it's super duper good. We can't get into it. We will be here all episode.
So I love the fox.
I'll also do a tabletop RPG one.
Hey.
I've been also on Dylan Hunter's recommendation. The sub theme of this episode is Dylan Hunter.
The sub theme is Dylan Hunter is always right.
Yep. I have been reading a tabletop RPG called Trespasser, which I have been enjoying quite a bit. It is in a old school revivalist tradition, that kind of like early D&D, like you're not epic heroes, you're not like out to save the world, you're just some person trying to get by, with a little bit of like modern flair, some really interesting like character building stuff that I've really enjoyed reading about, and a completely unhinged character creation process where you roll fully randomly 4 characters.
Oh god.
And then the first session is and level 1 characters have no skills or abilities. They're level 1 commoners. So you roll completely randomly 4 level 1 commoners, 3 of whom are expected to die during the first session.
Oh.
And then you play the one who lives.
Okay.
Yep, it's a bad, hard world out there. But it's fascinating. It's doing stuff that I haven't seen done so much successfully in tabletop RPG spaces, and I like it a lot. So
nice.
shout out to Trespasser. It's a cool system. But that's not the thing we're here to talk about today, and I am too excited to spend any more time not talking about our little green boys. So let's start from the top. We're going to talk about goblins.
Goblins.
Grot in AOS terminology.
Hate that.
It's one of the ones I like.
I still hate it. Do you like it because you just like the guys?
No, I think it's a good, like, you have a diminutive little, like, creepy little dude. He's a grot.
I guess.
Yeah, I like it.
No, you're not wrong. I'm not trying to convince you you're incorrect. I just don't like any of them on principle.
Fair. That's fair. That's also completely fine. So we talked about them a little bit in the Gur episode because goblins and orcs are intrinsically linked. They're both children of Gorkamorka, the great green god of destruction, whereas orcs represent Gork, his brutality. Traditionally, goblins represent his cunning. His brutally cunning and cunningly brutal are generally the aspects of Gorkamorka. I prefer the terminology used by the great green prophet of our time, Gordrak, that Gork wants to fight and Mork wants to win.
Oh, that is very good.
It's a good dichotomy.
Yeah.
But as we're going to talk about in this episode, and also what we'll talk about when we eventually do the orc episode, that distinction has gotten squirrely in the time since orcs and goblins have split.
That's right. They don't hang out
yes,
anymore.
They don't hang out anymore. We have a couple theories, but no confirmation for why they don't hang out anymore.
Interesting.
My favorite is that it was a fight over a particularly shiny spoon that got way out of hand. That's one of the proposed canon theories.
Do like that. Yeah, feels right.
What are the more like grounded ones that seems to have some of the like in-universe backing is the idea that Gorkamorka told orcs and goblins that they needed to split to learn to be self-sufficient without each other.
Interesting.
To better fight chaos the next time it comes around is the idea. And I think we do see some evidence of that. We'll get into it when we're talking about goblins a little bit. But just note that like baseline, it's orcs are brutal, goblins are cunning, but that's gotten squirrely, and that's interesting, I think. So goblins split off from orcs. They go without orcs to be kind of like their protectors, bodyguards, like the muscle behind them. They look to ways in which to like better protect themselves. Goblins are small. They're not particularly strong.
Little guys.
Yeah, they're not particularly fast. Like they're just kind of little guys.
Nice.
And notably, they're too small to generate Wa.
Okay.
Wa is the like supernatural force that orcs generate when they break stuff. Other creatures can generate Wa if they're aligned with Gorkamorka. We actually see it with giants a little bit.
Nice.
Because it does seem to be associated with size. Like I said, we have explicit in-universe confirmation that goblins are just too small to generate Wa, even in like massed numbers. And some giants are so big that they can generate Wa all by themselves, which is terrifying.
Solo.
Yeah.
Wow.
But so that leads them to basically like crawl into like the caves and kind of dark places of the world. We very quickly establish this paradigm where goblins live in caves, they live in tunnels, they kind of shy away from the natural world a little bit, and that leads to them, it's unclear if they like always had this or if they developed it. It leads to them developing this kind of like sunlight sensitivity over the generations through like the Age of Myth and into the Age of Sigmar, through the Age of Chaos. We get to the point where goblins are like genuinely hurt if they go out in sunlight.
Ooh.
Yeah. So sticking to nighttime, a lot of goblins flock to Ulgu for that reason because it never gets properly daytime in Ulgu. Yeah. And they avoid Hish like the plague because it's literally always daytime in
That
Hish.
would be bad for them.
Yes.
They are the opposite of light elves.
Yes. So goblins eventually kind of split into these like sub groups that all have their different ways of coping with like orcs most directly like worship Gorkamorka. They keep to Gorkamorka's like portents and principles, and they venerate Gorkamorka like by name. Whereas the rest of the people associated with Gorkamorka have kind of approached it through middlemen. Like ogres are also like in worship of Gorkamorka, but ogres are cursed with that eternal hunger.
Yeah.
So most of them worship Gorkamorka as...
That's such a bummer. Every time I think about that, I get really sad.
It sucks. So many ogres worship Gorkamorka as the aspect of the gulping god, like someone who is so big that they can eat so much that even they could overcome that like endless hunger is the idea. Yeah. Giants tend to worship Gorshamorsha. Well, because I'm gonna giants worship Gorkamorka directly, but also like through Behemoth, his buddy. Yeah, because giants are all descendant of Behemoth. They do not hold that Gork is brutal and Mork is cunning. They hold that Gork is stompy and Mork is kicky, because giants interact with the world mostly through their feet, right?
Which, absolutely.
100%.
The one thing that's connecting.
Goblins, actually, they still venerate Gorkamorka, but they've found a different god.
Ooh, okay.
There is another that more closely holds their interest, in part because it imparts to them some level of that like rightful thing that they feel they're denied with not being able to like access the Wa. Goblins, almost to a man, worship the bad moon. It is the goblins.
So you did say that. I was so excited.
It is the goblin god. But it is not like, it's not a thing that they made. It is... Yeah, let's talk about the bad moon.
Tell me about our podcast name. I don't know what it is.
The bad moon is a... entity of chaos, not capital C chaos, like
Okay.
not like the realms of chaos, like it's not associated with the chaos gods. It just does what it wants.
Okay.
And that's, yeah.
Yeah, it's not like chaos with the goal of utter
No.
entropy.
No.
It is. That's pretty chaotic.
Yeah, it's the Joker. It's
Yeah.
the Joker moon. Yeah.
Yeah.
The bad moon is literally a moon. It's a celestial body that moves throughout the realms. It follows no clear path.
That's crazy.
Yep. It just goes where it wants.
Do we know why?
Nope.
Oh, I hate that.
Like I said, it goes where it wants to. It doesn't have any clear pattern. It doesn't have any clear orbit.
I would worship it too. It's breaking all the rules of the celestial bodies.
That's kind of the here's the big throw off the cover of our podcast name. The bad moon's orbit is erratic and unpredictable, and so that's kind of our
Excellent. You mean I'm allowed to get more unhinged?
yeah
yeah.
our topic shifts, our conversations go on weird tangents. It's great.
I love that.
Yes. So the bad moon just kind of shows up places, and it, like I said, we know it's an immensely like powerful cosmic entity. It's just like,
Is it alive?
yeah, it has intent. It seems like we
Okay.
just can't tell what it is. It has intent, but it doesn't seem to have goals.
Okay,
It
so
just
it's
kind
not
of does
like
stuff.
we say it's a moon, but it's not like a moon.
It's a moon. It is literally a big rock.
Oh,
Yeah, just
Okay.
flies through space.
but it's alive.
Yes.
Well, that makes it less weird that it just goes where it wants.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we kind of think it's alive. There's theories.
Okay,
we,
go
we,
on.
we some of this is like conflicting information because it's weird. Some of this is the like Grand Alliance destruction, which is all the people associated with Gorkamorka special, where we don't have firsthand accounts. Like we don't, all of our like stuff isn't written from the perspective of goblins. It's written from the perspective of like humans who study goblins, and so like
yeah.
it's all secondhand, and so we don't have like a lot of clear answers. But as far as we can tell, the bad moon shows intent. It is in some way connected to Gorkamorka, though we don't know for sure how. Just that there's a big like cosmic event that occurred in lore that we'll talk about at some point called the Era of the Beast, which greatly empowered.
Love that name.
Yeah.
That's gonna be fun. Looking forward to that.
Oh yeah, greatly empowered like all the wild places of the world, as well as like things associated with Gorkamorka, and it made the bad moon go extra erratic. So we
Ooh.
know that it's like either like an aspect of the natural world, or yeah, like connected to Gorkamorka.
Nice.
But as far as we can tell, yeah, it just kind of does what it wants. And the main thing that like ties it to goblins for us and ties goblins together into the kind of collective entity known as the Gloomspite Gitz is the effect it has on them and has on like other creatures in the realm.
Ooh, okay.
So first off, where the bad moon goes, it is preceded by omens.
Omens! Okay!
And those can be like, there's a sliding scale of benign to like abjectly terrifying. The bad moon has a strong association with fungus. It has a strong association with insects, and it has a strong association with prophecy.
Okay.
And so
Prophecy of its own arrival, or like...
yes and no.
Okay.
Prophecy of lots of stuff. So we have examples of like places where the bad moon is going to arrive having like sudden explosive outcroppings of fungus, like just a town or building on the edge of town just completely subsumed by like fungal growths in one night.
Nope.
Yeah.
I'm leaving. I'm moving. I'm just going to commit to that place I've been watching on Zwillow.
It's a good.
I'd rather live in the place where the trees want to eat you.
Yeah, you don't want to be there when the bad moon arrives, probably, if
shit.
you're not a goblin.
Oh no.
Insects getting, and like I said, these vary in severity. Sometimes it's just like there happen to be more mushrooms around. Sometimes it's like that what I was talking about. One of the like lower impact but more terrifying ones, I think, is that sometimes bugs just aren't scared of people anymore.
Oh no.
And so you just see like spiders moving around in daytime, or like centipedes like moving between houses, just like
Chill.
because they're not afraid of people. Yep.
Like, yeah, this is fine.
Yep. The most, and this happens in a book, and it's the one that I always use to communicate to people how fucking weird the bad moon is.
Okay.
Is in one of the books, like in a town before it arrives, like about a week before it arrives, a calf, like a baby cow, is born. And when that calf is born, it has the face of a spider. And when they like lift it to look at it, that spider face looks them dead in the eye, and in perfect Azurian, which is our like common equivalent,
Okay.
tells them the day they're going to die. Just a perfect...
God, is it soon? Is it that day, that moment? Because I think for me, it'd be that moment.
It's like in a month is the... Yeah.
Because the bad moon's going to show up? Or?
Yeah, that's the implication. Yeah. But just spider-faced cow baby going, you'll die in 13 days. And then immediately perishing because it was only being sustained by, like, raw magic.
But not, like, chaos magic, but not capital K chaos magic.
Correct. Prophets all across
I said capital K on purpose. It was a jokey joke. Don't even.
Prophets across the realm, people who are already, like, attuned to, like, prophetic visions and stuff, tend to be able to feel it coming, for sure. Get out of
Feels
there.
like it wants people to know.
Yes,
so yeah,
absolutely.
it'd be wild the folks who are already on this grind didn't clock it.
Yes, 100%. So yeah, like I said, it's not malevolent per se. It's just weird. Like,
I mean, yeah. Weird is a word that you could use to describe this entity.
It's like I said, it's broadly, like we think it's broadly kind of a nature spirit.
Okay.
But it feels weird to call it advocate. But it is representative of those things that are irrefutably part of nature, but that are gross.
Yeah.
That people don't like.
We don't like the fungus or the bugs.
You look out on a field of corn and you're like, aha, corn.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't get the same thing from lots of spiders, right?
No. No, I wouldn't. I would not.
So that's kind of the vibe. And then when the bad moon shows up,
Picturing
it's
the
worse.
cornfield covered in spider web now. You like when when there's a lot of spiders,
Yep.
and suddenly everything looks like it's covered in snow, but it's not snow, it's spider web.
Yep.
That's what happened to the corn.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, go on.
When the bad moon arrives, it generally gets worse.
Oh, really?
It
gets worse than spider-headed calf telling you the day you'll die.
Good outcome is just like the moon comes through, it like stays for a bit, and then it moves on. That tends to like make fungal growth go pretty crazy. You do not, if you are not a goblin or like any of the other creatures it affects positively, you do not want to stand under like bad moonlight because it will just make fungus grow on you. And not like subtle fungus, like you're not getting an infection. It's like full stemmed mushrooms growing out of your skin.
Oh my god.
Because it's bad.
Are those the zombies from The Last of Us?
A little. It doesn't like if you get too many mushrooms, you just die.
Okay.
It doesn't like
zombify you.
Yeah, cordyceptitize you. Yeah.
Cordyceptitize. Dalton with the words.
Cordyceps is the mushroom, I'm pretty sure. So
That
I made
sounds
that
right.
word up. That's fine. That's the good ending. The bad ending when the bad moon shows up is that goblins in some way figured out it was coming.
Oh shit.
Because if they know, they're also going to show up.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. They do worship the thing.
Yeah, they worship it, and let's talk about like why it brings
All the goblins to the
all
yard?
these goblins together. Yeah, so goblins are small, right?
Okay. Yep. How big is a goblin? Like they're small, but like how big is a goblin?
2-ish feet.
Oh, this is a little taller than my nephew.
Yeah,
He's like one and some change.
yeah, they're little.
'Kay.
I don't have a good like human model, or I could compare them because everything's true to scale, which is neat. But yeah, and Stormcast are bigger than humans, or else we
That's
could use
true.
Guy
Or we
Warhammer.
could use
Yeah.
Guy Warhammer hanging out over there on the bookshelf.
Yeah. But yeah, goblins are little. They've learned to like hide in the dark places of the world. They don't like interacting with people. In a straight fight, one person could probably take like 3 or 4 goblins. Like,
Yeah.
they're not good fighters, and like all of that is normally fine. What the bad moon does for goblins is just inspire them with like unshakable confidence. It would be correct to use the word manic, where you're just kind of like a little obsessive. You're like jazzed to like do stuff.
Yeah.
And so goblins, for any number of reasons, like to be under bad moonlight, even if they don't have like hostile intent. A lot of time they have hostile intent.
To be clear, there is
Yeah.
usually hostile
Yes.
intent, but
Even if it's hostile on the level of like it's really hard for goblins to manufacture glass. So there's a goblin character we know of named Braggett,
Great name.
and his thing is that he collects bottles during bad moon raids to sell to other goblins because they're not good at making them. And so when the bad moon shows up in a settlement, he just waits for other like goblins to attack it, and then he goes through all the fucking like breweries and like
Just
alchemy
takes all their
shops and stuff.
glass.
Takes all their glassware, and that's extremely funny. Like,
So, just rolls up
yeah,
with his wagon. God, that'd be such a fun, weird, niche little like cosplay.
yes,
Is the glass goblin
yeah.
from Warhammer AOS.
Braggett Bottle Snatcher.
Braggett Bottle Snatcher. Excellent.
He's a delight. But yeah, like sometimes goblins are there for metal. Again, hard to forge metal in their like natural living environment. They live in deep dark caves. Sometimes they're just there because like they like the feeling that they get under the bad moon.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and they want to use that like confidence and that like
listen, we all just want to boost a confidence every
yes.
now and then.
They just want to flex it.
Can't be mad at them about this.
Sometimes it's like retributive, right? Like we've talked before about Sigmar and like the reclamation of the realms, right? How Assyrian-born humans are like spreading it across the realms
Yeah.
to quote unquote like reclaim them for Sigmar, not always cognizant of the fact that like
Someone was living here already.
some people already live here, like human and otherwise. And so
Yeah.
sometimes it is just a straight up like there have been like goblin clan tunnels underneath this place since the Age of Chaos, and now you're like plowing to do farm labor and stuff, and we're mad about it.
Yeah.
And like jumping straight to murder probably isn't the like way to express that, but you know, like, yeah,
But listen,
yeah,
they're goblins.
yeah, exactly. And so there's goblins are not the only thing that is affected by badmen. Like they get manic, they get like hyped up by it. But there are other creatures who are like related to the bad moon in some way, and we're not sure what binds all of them.
Okay.
Some people think it's the goblins. Some people think it's that goblins start hanging out with these other groups, and so the bad moon just like adopts them as well. The bad moon has the face of a goblin on it, so it's like
okay.
yeah, but only when some people look at it. The rest of the time it looks like a rock. So, and only if you look at it certain ways, it's very much like Man in the Moon, like or like the rabbit on the moon kind of thing.
I can't see the man on the room, but I
can't
see the
moon.
rabbit.
I can see the rabbit. Yeah,
I can see
same.
the rabbit.
Same.
I always thought the man on the moon was definitely like a total expression.
Right.
Like
Right.
I didn't realize that I actually until this moment that was like a thing people could see. This is like learning. Oh, like being an ace person and learning when someone describes someone as hot, like that's
Right.
not just like a really intense metaphor. We're not just being
Right.
hyperbolic.
Right.
Like, huh.
Crazy. Are y'all okay? Anyway.
No. None of us, but
So goblins, like I said, manic, excited, etc. Goblins are associated with squigs.
Squigs!
Yes.
I like the squigs!
I was going to say squigs are great. We have
You have lots of squigs!
selection of squigs here. Yes, squigs are wonderful. Squigs are little toothy meatballs on legs.
I love them when they're super small, but I would hate them in real life.
Yeah.
They
yes.
make me so mad.
Yes. They are just like little hyper aggressive like pug dogs, like bipedal, like
Oh, we did just compare them to pugs.
yeah, it's
Maybe
true.
I like them slightly. Would they upset me as much as walking out to that cornfield and seeing it covered in spiderweb? No. One squig would not upset me as much as walking outside to that cornfield and seeing it covered in spiderweb.
Hey, you
Two
could
squig? Who's to say? But one squig.
and
I
you-
would name it Pim after my brother's beloved pug.
Aw. And you could probably so the thing about squigs is they have a reproductive cycle measured in minutes. They're very like quibbles. Is that the
I was
Star
about to
Trek
say
one?
they're like
Yeah.
trebles.
Trebles, yes. They're very kind of treble-like in that way, except that rather than allowing it to like be this like gray goo scenario like horror thing, goblins have taken full utilization of that. Squigs do, like, we have no details on this, but squigs do reproduce sexually, so you can
Jesus.
selectively breed them.
Ooh.
Is like the important part of that.
They are like pugs.
Yeah, and so we're going to extend the pug metaphor even further. Goblins have mastered the art of like selective breeding on squigs, and they can make those genetics do completely insane garbage. You can, hey, you know what squigs don't have? Wings. You know what goblins have bred? Squigs with wings.
Fuck yeah, that's crazy.
We have bat squigs. We have stalag squigs, which are like ambush bred, so they look like stalactites. We have spore squigs, who are bred to have these like mushroom
I'm
spore.
back fully on the squig train. I'm back fully on the squig train. Doesn't matter how many squids, doesn't matter what squig. None of a squig could upset me as much as that cornfield covered in spider webs.
I was gonna say you could even probably breed like a squig that's just like less aggressive, because squigs are like very aggressive baseline.
I mean, yeah, but like that's what I was thinking. Someone's invented like purse squigs.
Oh, for sure.
Like here's your little teacup squig. Squig for the kids. I know goblins don't have kids, but squig for the kids.
We have snuffle squigs, which are just squigs who have been bred to have a huge fucking nose on their forehead.
Okay.
To sniff for like rare mushroom varieties.
I was gonna say, they sound like they look
They're
for
truffle
mushrooms.
pigs.
They're truffle pigs. Snuffle squigs.
They're great. And then we're going to talk about more. I have a section in my notes specifically about squigs.
Fuck yeah. I'm going to look up and see if I can get a squig plush.
Oh,
Keep
yes.
talking.
Certainly. Squigs under moonlight get both faster and more reliable. It's really hard to like direct a squig, basically.
Mm-hmm. No, that makes sense.
Goblins will sometimes try and ride squigs into battle, which kind of works, but squigs just kind of do what they want most of the time. Under moonlight, they get a little bit more focused. You can direct them a little bit better, and they get faster on top of that.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, as Dalton said, yes, you can totally get squig plush. I don't...
The official one's not great.
That's okay. That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
They're not great. I'm leaning too far away from the mic to get closer to the minis, but I'm looking at the minis that I can see, and I mean they're hideous. Don't get me wrong, but they're also great. Yeah. And I just feel like the plush of the squig is not communicating how great they are. It also doesn't look squishy enough.
Right.
What I realized what I'm wanting a squishmallow squig.
Yes, that would be delightful. So that's what the moon does to squigs. Also, I'm going to mention now that this is going to be a long episode because goblins.
Because goblins!
And they're my fave. And they're great. And there's a lot of them. And there's a lot to say about them. So if you're listening to this part, this is the part where we are going to, those in the know, we're going to talk about Moon Clan and Spiderfang.
Ooh.
And then in the next episode, I'm planning on talking about Troggoths and Gitmob.
Okay.
None of that means anything to you yet.
No, I'm never the one in the know.
But yeah, so we're gonna focus on that for this episode. But I'm gonna mention all of so there's a bunch of different like groups within Gitz, and I'm gonna touch on them briefly, even though we won't cover some of them until next episode, because I want to give you kind of a baseline. Like I said, Gitz isn't like one collective group. It's not like there's like a big council telling them what to do. It's just the collective term for everybody that's like affected by the bad moon, basically. Our big kind of like cultural paradigms within Gitz. This isn't the same as individual clans. These are like broad like categorizations that they fall under, which will have like many different like individual clans within them.
Nice.
The first of these and the largest by far is the Moon Clan.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Moon Clan are the original as far as we can tell. They lurk in the tunnels below, and they are wholly committed to the grand project of like predicting where the moon is going to go.
Oh, okay.
Right. Like that's their, again, like the reason why if the bad moon shows up, you're likely to get goblins like accompanying it is because the Moon Clan is putting in the work to like read the portents and like
they're
commune with the try to figure out where it's going to arrive next so that they can be there, or they can tell other Gits in the area who can then be there.
Nice. I appreciate the community element of like, if I can't make it, I'll make sure someone else does.
Yes.
We do not hoard this knowledge.
Yes.
Nice.
Only if they can't get there. To be fair, most promotion within Git society happens via dead men's shoes, and you've usually filled those dead men's shoes with the dead man by stabbing him to death. Yeah. Like it's not a kind like paradigm.
No,
but they're all Gits. It's
yeah.
better than Moon Clan are the ones who are specialized in like breeding squigs. Nice. So basically all squigs come from the Moon Clan. Squigs also don't like sunlight particularly well. They breed best in like cave environments, so that's what it does. One of the other big like cultural groups amongst goblins is the Spiderfang clans. Spiderfang are great because they split off from Moon Clan some time ago. The original Spiderfang clan is in Shaiish, the realm of death.
Damn.
And they decided to live above ground in these like super like shade covered forests. So it still
makes
protects them
sense.
from sunlight. They want to live above ground. They want a different like hunting environment and stuff. And they basically, what that leads them to do is basically, we don't know if by accident or on purpose, set up their like whole clan on Neferata, the first vampire's front lawn.
Is Neferata aware that there are goblins?
Oh yes, yeah, it's
front
hard
yard?
not to be. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So they set up there. Nef like sends people to try and drive them out, but there's just like a ton of goblins and like it's not worth the effort basically. And so they just kind of like have this weird like non-militarized zone between vampire land and goblin land for a little bit. And then Neferata makes, at some point Neferata, I think during the Age of Chaos, makes like a big push to drive the Spider-Fang out.
Yeah.
Sends a bunch of her knights and stuff. The way the goblins tell it, so in the forest where the Spider-Fang live, there are just these like giant spiders. Like they're just an endemic species.
What does endemic mean?
I think it means like native.
Okay.
But I'm not actually sure, and I should have looked it up before.
No, but that does sound... I mean, that sounds right. It just occurred to me in the moment. I was like, oh, I'm actually not sure what that word means.
Regularly occurring within an area or community.
Cool.
Native and restricted to a certain place.
Okay.
So, absolutely. Okay. They live in that forest. They don't like to go out of that forest. These like giant spiders.
Good.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm glad those giant spiders don't like to go out of that forest.
Yeah.
I'd be unhappy if those giant spiders put webs over my cornfields.
And so the goblins of the Spider-Fang clans have already started to develop this kind of like cultural worship of these spiders, or at least like appreciation. Like you don't fuck with the spiders, they don't fuck with you, except they do because they're spiders.
They do because they're spiders.
Goblins get caught in giant spider webs. It's a whole thing. And so some goblins have already started talking about like they still revere the bad moon, but also maybe there's this like great spider god, who weaved all the realms together, and maybe this is what the Spider-Fang clans believe. Maybe the bad moon isn't a moon, maybe it's a really big spider egg.
Neat. What a cool thought, gang. Wow.
And one day, the Spider-Fang clan say, one day it'll hatch and drown all the realms in spiders, is how they phrase it.
What a neat
Nightmare,
life.
yeah.
Cool. Y'all are super fun to hang out with. I'm happy I came to the moon party with you.
So Neferata sends like a raiding party to drive out all the goblins, and
too.
the way the goblins tell it is that in their darkest moment, right on the like edge of defeat, cracks opened in the fabric of reality, and like we're already dealing with like giant spiders. Building sized spiders started pouring out of these huge fissures in space-time and started killing vampires.
That didn't happen.
It did.
See, the goblins say that happened. What do the vampires say happened?
Here's the thing.
Oh, shit.
Because that happened. It just wasn't like a blessing is the thing.
Okay.
Like the goblins, and that's the foundational text of the Spider-Fang clans. From there, like their population exploded. We have Spider-Fang clans in like all the different realms now who all trace back to the central myth of the great like Ragnarok.
Ragnarok is very good.
Ragnarok's really good.
It's very good.
Where skitter strands, which is what those breed of like giant spider are called, came out of the space between realms where they lurk, and saved the original Spider-Fang clan from Neferata. What actually happened is that skitterstrand arachnaroks are ambush predators. They are trapdoor spiders whose trapdoors they make in the fabric of reality. They live in the space between realms.
I'm unhappy. All right, go on.
And so what actually happened is that Arachnarok spiders felt this huge fight, like in the threads of webbing they have crisscrossed around the fabric of reality. And they went, an excellent opportunity to hunt.
And they weren't wrong. But also, wait, hold on. Fighting happens all the time.
Yeah.
Like, all the time.
Yeah.
Do these spiders just show up all the time?
Yes.
What the fuck, Dalton?
There's not like a ton of them.
Like, this was weird that so many showed up all at once.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's probably because Realm of Death. It's probably because like already a spider inhabited area. And it's probably because goblin worship.
Yeah.
It probably is in part because the goblins like drew them to them through their like.
Yeah, I mean they have webs through the threading of reality all over the place. So sure.
Yeah, it is not uncommon in like totally unrelated battles for just like some big elephant of war gets injured or whatever, and just like its crew like leaves it by the sideline to go rejoin the fight, and then you come back and it's just gone because a spider just like grabbed it and pulled it into the space between the realms. Also, our 40k reference for the episode is that the space between the realms is called the webway because spiders, which is also a thing in 40k, but it's unrelated.
Hey, do all of these things just also exist in 40k but different?
No. The webway is like an entirely different thing. It's just
but
like...
spiders do live there.
No.
No?
No, it's like totally unrelated. In 40k, the webway is the like system that like space elves set up to travel faster than light.
Yeah.
It just happens to be called the webway. In AOS, it's the webway because that's a joke about 40k.
Oh.
We went like, what do we call this space where the interdimensional spiders live? Ha! It's also the webway because spider reference.
But that makes more sense than the elves calling it the webway.
Correct. I don't know enough 40k lore to say why. Like,
not a 40k podcast.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's Spider Fang. Here's the kicker.
Mm-hmm.
Arachnarok spiders, which is just what they've like all varieties of like giant spiders have come to be called in the here and after, are sentient. They have names, thoughts, feelings.
So they're just like guys. They're big spider guys.
Yes. They have.
Could you befriend one?
Certainly. They have an alien intelligence where they're very like food motivated, right?
Well, so's my dog. So
that's true. But yeah,
they want elephant. Okay.
Yeah, the Spider Fang clans do not just like worship these giant spiders and like revere these giant spiders. They are in partnership with these giant spiders. They're
in league with the giant spiders.
Yes.
Okay.
Spider Fang, more than any other like Git like subgroup, are like, well, that's not true because Git Mob also, when we talk about them, they like have a thing going on with another group. My expectation is that they're trying to emulate in some way the relationship they had with orcs, where it's like, here's a big guy and he's not as smart as I am, but we're buddies and he punches things that want to hurt me.
Nice.
And now he's a big spider. And, and
that's
cool.
It makes me sad that they don't have their original friends anymore.
Right.
But okay. Big spider's pretty cool.
Yeah. And so those are Spider Fang clans. Arachnaroks come into the world. Some of them choose to stay. They lose their ability to like slip back into the webway, and they become like different varieties of Arachnarok.
Okay.
So we've got ones that will like carry a bunch of goblins into battle. We have ones that like learn how to. They can't cast magic. They just like don't have the capability. But we get ones who learn how to like augment magic, like they can channel their own like kind of arcane potential into like the goblins who like. You'll have ones that are literally just like a partnership with a goblin wizard, and that goblin wizard is just like standing on their head, like using their arcane reservoir to also like cast spells.
I like that.
Yeah, it's neat. It's kind of like I said, they're a little bit symbiotic. It's like sharks and those like fish that cling to them and eat their scraps.
Yeah.
And in much the same way.
Or like
again,
the birds
like,
and the crocodiles.
Yeah, exactly. And in much the same way, like your Arachnarok spider goes and hunts an olifant or whatever and drags it back, and the goblins get some, and it's good.
Nice. Okay. It works out for everybody.
It works out for everybody. Git Mob are our last like goblin focused like cultural group. Again, like many clans exist within all these, but this is kind of the like last big tradition.
The umbrella.
Yeah.
Okay.
When I talked about like goblins are cunning as a baseline, but some have started to be like in the more like Gorkish tradition since the split. That's Git Mob. Git Mob said, actually, it sucks that the sun hurts us. We're going to try and not. We're just going to like exposure therapy ourselves away from being hurt by sunlight.
Okay.
And it doesn't work.
No.
Because that's not how that works. No. But they're real obstinate about it.
Yeah. That makes sense.
The original Git Mob literally moved to Hish, so they would just be in light all the time.
Babes,
Yep.
no, you can't.
they're more active because they have to be like on the move. Hish is where like all the Lumineth live, and so it's tough out there. So they largely abandoned the like cave living for like a very nomadic like lifestyle, so they can stay afield of like Lumineth encampments and like search parties and stuff. And the really cool thing about Gitmob is that they formed a symbiotic relationship, not with giant spiders, but with big sentient wolves.
Yes! Fuck yes! Big sentient wolves, let's go!
The wolves are called Snarlfangs, and they're weird. Like, they're sentient, varying intelligence. Some of them seem to be like really smart dog all the way up to like capable of speech. It just seems to vary quite a bit.
Okay.
But like also they're poisonous. I guess they're venomous.
Okay.
Like they bite you and
Okay. Yeah. That makes more sense.
Yes. They're venomous. And since they started working with Gitmob, the moon affects them as well.
Ooh.
Oh, that's the other thing. Spiders, like the giant spider varieties that work with the spider fang, their poisons get more deadly when they're under moonlight. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yep. Bad Moon augments the wolves' like reaction time. It gives them a little bit of like speed force adjacency almost, which
Fuck
is
yeah.
wild. Gitmob are great, but we're going to talk about more in the next episode because they're a big group. I don't want to try and cram them and Moon Clan into the same one.
That makes sense.
And they're going to share scene time with my favorite subgroup, who aren't goblins.
Whoa. Twist.
Yeah, they are Troggoths. And they are Troggoth is the AOS word for a troll.
Oh, neat.
They're
okay.
trolls. Yeah, I love trolls. Trolls are my favorite fantasy creature, bar none.
I didn't know this about you.
Oh, yeah. I
If
think
you had asked
it's
me, I would have been like, yeah, Dalton loves orcs.
also true. It's very close.
Yeah.
But I don't know why, but for some reason,
I know
like
why.
the consistent
And his name
thing,
rhymes with Terry Pratchett.
I mean, yeah, but like that's a big part of it.
Now
but...
that I thought about it for more than 15 seconds, I was like, wait. Yeah, hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's definitely...
my bad. I forgot for a minute. Sergeant Detritus exists in the world of literary fiction.
It's definitely partially Sir Pratchett. It's also, I don't know why, I think my favorite, like, fantasy ability that's, like, consistent across basically all portrayals of trolls is the ability to regenerate. Like, it's wild. It's really interesting to me that a creature would just have that as, like, an innate thing about itself. I don't know why. I think that's neat. That's also why I like Wolverine. But
Okay.
Trolls are great. They are sentient, but they don't need it that much, if that makes sense.
Kinda.
Like, yeah, like a troll is capable of thought. They're capable of learning. They just usually don't need to. And so they don't, like, there's not like a troll education system because, like, most of a troll's needs are met just by doing what they can do in the immediate here and now.
I guess, yeah. I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Maslow's hierarchy of needs. If those needs are being met entirely, you don't need a hierarchy.
Yes. Caveat.
Caveat.
Maybe.
Oh.
We'll talk about it more when we
What?
talk about
What?
trolls. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But there is the potential that it's all an act, which is a theory that has come up multiple times across different source materials, which I think is very funny if true. But we have no idea.
Okay, moving on.
Trogs are weird. They're weird in like a bunch of delightful ways that we're going to talk about later. They're very strongly associated with Moon Clan because they're also like a subterranean species. And so generally what happens is like Moon Clan goblins will like burrow into like a troll cave and just be like, hey, we think the moon's going to show up over here. And the trolls will like, and go with them. Yeah.
Sure, man, whatever. I guess we're here now.
Moonlight makes trolls' skin get tougher.
Okay.
It just makes them harder to hurt.
Yeah.
Which...
I bet they're already
cool.
pretty hard to hurt.
Yes, extremely so. It's possible to stab a troll, but it takes practice. And most people don't get to practice more than once. And then squigs. We already talked about squigs. Barely sapient balls of teeth and violence. Fully symbiotic with Moon Clan grots. It's great. So those are like our big subgroups. Those are represented both in lore and in like miniatures. Like if you were to set out to build and play a Gloomspite Gitz army, it would behoove you to pick like one or two of those groups and like build around those. So you might have like a mostly Moon Clan force with like squigs and maybe some trogs. You might have like Spider Fang and Git Mob. So you have your I'm a Goblin with an animal friend like cohort.
Yeah, very into the wolf ones. So
Yeah.
Git Mob may be what I'm leaning to because spiders make me uncomfortable.
That's fair. And Git Mob are very neat. So I have in my notes some of the like theories about what the bad moon is. We already talked about the Spider Fang one. That's a big spider egg.
So probably not that.
It's
but
probably
I don't know.
not that, but who knows? Like we don't have a clear answer. Some Moon Clan wizards think it is a repository of goblin souls. They think specifically because we know that like goblins reincarnate like orcs do. They go back to the Great Green.
Yeah.
They think that getting to be part of the bad moon is a reward.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And they attribute its like erraticness to every goblin that it's made up of having their hand on the wheel.
Yeah.
So if you
Honestly?
just have
Sure.
a 10,000 goblins all trying to make decisions about this rock, then it's going to do crazy shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it would make sense like why some people can see a goblin face on it and why it like seems to gain affinity for things that goblins get close to.
Yeah.
But like we don't know for sure. Some goblins just think it used to be a normal rock. And then Gorkamorka in his infinite wisdom tried to eat it. But it was too tough and he chipped one of his teeth on it. And the embedded tooth made it go, quote, right proper weird.
If you chip a tooth,
Yeah.
first thing you want to do, ibuprofen for the sensitivity of the pain. Tylenol's not going to work. If you can't get to the dentist right away, you can get some dental wax and cover the sharp parts. Or if it's really bothering you, clean emery board, new nail file, smooth it down, just so the jagged
there
thing
you
isn't
go.
catching on your lip or your tongue or anything like that. That's what you do if you chip your tooth.
Perfect.
I work at a dentist's
Yeah.
office. This is my job.
Hey, it's
every
good
day.
dental advice you won't get on any other podcast.
You can take up to 800 milligrams every 6 hours, alternate with 1,000 milligrams of Tylenol. If you start to have swelling on the outside of your face, you're going to want to go to the ER.
Oh. Also, it's important that everyone listening to this podcast right now be aware that all goblins talk with British accents.
And you should also be aware that this is not medical advice.
Yeah.
It's
Equally
just for
important.
fun. This is Darian parroting a thing she says at work every day as a joke for me. Wait, what did you say?
All goblins speak in British accents.
You weren't just doing that as a for fun Dalton bit?
No, it's true. They tend a little bit towards Cockney, but it's because orcs also speak in British accents. Because
And what do orcs tend towards? Is it also Cockney?
A little bit. Because the original like Warhammer Fantasy orcs were supposed to be parodies of football hooligans.
You did tell me
That's
about
the-
this.
yes.
The hooligans. Oh my
Yes.
god, I'm pretty sure I was shocked then too.
Yeah. So that's you're picturing like this big burly guy, and instead of basing him off of like other stereotypes you could reach for, they've done themselves a great service by instead having him be like, "Oh, here Arsenal's going to do well this year. Let's go on down to the pub and get a point."
God, what is that team from Pokemon? Team Yell?
Yell. Yeah. I think we've had this conversation about Team Yell.
This exact they are just Team Yell.
And so goblins are a little bit weedier. I love all of it's set in the old world, but the game Total War, like Warhammer Fantasy, has great voice acting for all of its goblins. Just I got me knife. There's a
Big
guy.
fan.
There's a goblin from the old world who, when you click on him to do diplomacy, if you're playing orcs, he's like, "Oh, it's always nice to see a fellow green around. All right, boys, get your knives." They're great. I love them. Talking a little bit about goblin psychology. We talked about like orc psychology before, like the physiological need to break things or they start to like wither.
Yeah.
Goblins also get that a little bit, but again, they are an aspect of Gorkamorka's cunning. And so they're more compelled to like plan. They don't feel
Maybe
the
not
need
break,
to
but dismantle?
Yeah, they don't feel the need to like break stuff in the same way that an orc does, but they love seeing like systems fall apart. They love like tearing down like structures and like making it so that things don't quite work properly. That's also part of why it makes it hard for like grots to work with each other a little bit. I said the thing earlier about like grots advancing via dead men's shoes and how like they do tend to be a little bit like murdery up the hierarchy. And that is an expression of that. Like, if any one goblin gets too powerful, they're leading the clan too well, they just get that, like, kind of under the hood, like, need to kick over that sandcastle, right? Like, we need to disrupt the system. And, yeah, like, an interesting, a beneficial upside to that is that maybe now I'm in charge. But basically what it results in is this, like, if orcs feel that like inherent like thrill of like it's fun to kick a sandcastle over, it's fun to finish a Lego project and then just push it over and watch it go psh. All goblins are all playing Game of Thrones all the time, and most of them are bad at it. And that's they're looking for that kind of base thrill that you get from like when you successfully like trick a friend at a board game, right? Like you're in a framing where it's not like a genuinely harmful lie. You're just getting that little like, ooh, like I out clevered you a little bit in this moment.
Yeah,
and that's
like playing like werewolf or mafia.
Yeah, exactly. And that is the thing that like fuels their destructive sensibility in the same way that orcs, like I said, are physically fulfilling it. And so that again further leads to like the instability of like goblin clans and stuff. There's very much this kind of unspoken implication that if all the goblins didn't have that, they would rule the world by now, because there's just like a bajillion of them. And
and they seem very clever.
Yeah, they're clever. They're
and
very
they
smart.
Team up with bigger, scarier things very easily.
Absolutely. They're just their own worst enemy in that they don't keep to stuff very well. They're not good. They want the novelty of something new a little bit, and they want to get that by expressing their cunning, expressing their trickery.
Man,
it's interesting. It's insidious. Yeah,
it's insidious. Goblin, I understand there are no non-human Stormbringers, but Goblin Stormbringer first Stormcast. God, thank you. Goblin Stormcast first death. Part of their soul that goes missing is that piece.
Oh, yeah. That'd be neat.
Stop being so xenophobic, Sigmar. Make it happen.
As much as goblins love that little like rush of like, ooh, I gotcha, when doing it to each other, they adore it doing it to anyone else.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Especially anyone bigger than
I
them.
was gonna say, I bet bigger dudes are super fun to like
huge part of the
get
compulsion.
One over on. Yeah,
absolutely. You're twice my size, and I tricked you. I got you. I won the day because I'm smarter than you are.
Yeah,
like that's huge for a goblin. They love doing it to humans. Even dwarves are bigger than goblins, and they also tend to be like subterranean.
Oh yeah, competition.
Yes, even like a lot of them still hold like an affinity for like orcs, but there are lots that are just like, now that we're split, I'm gonna be kind of the like petty ex in this relationship, and I'm gonna keep collapsing tunnels under your war camps because you're big and strong and dumb, and I'm gonna
no notes. They're right.
Exploit that. We'll talk about more in the orc episode, but the group that they tend to hate the most are the morkier orcs, the like more cunning orcs.
I'm sure. Yeah, they're a lot harder to get one over on.
They're harder to get one over on, and it's, quote, unfair that you can be both big and cunning.
Aww. Poor little goblins. They can be cunning, but they can't be big.
No.
Oh no, I'm so sad now.
I have in my note, I wrote this line, I'm going to use it. As all this results in grots having the loyalty of a particularly treacherous fruit fly. Like they just don't, like I said, they want to kick the sandcastle over socially, politically. Like you have to be a enormous personality to hold power in like a goblin clan for more than a week. Whoa. Right? Because basically you have to do the Lord Veterinary thing where every single person knows that you not being in charge would be worse for them immediately. And there are a couple of those people. We're going to talk about them
hey, y'all
later.
Should read Discworld. We've mentioned it twice this episode,
really
so I'm just casually like, if you like this podcast, you'll love Discworld.
Yes.
Start on Guards.
Yeah. I think that's a good starting
Y'all
point.
specifically should start
Yes.
with guards.
For sure. So yeah, let's get a little bit into the specifics of the clans.
Please.
We're going to start with Moon Clan.
Okay.
They're the biggest one. They're probably going to be the focus for this episode. We'll probably squeak in like Spiderfang at the end of this one, and then next episode will be Trogs and Gitmob.
Awesome.
But yeah, Moon Clan, like I said, de facto specialists in charting and predicting the moon's path. Largest group out of all of them because they were the originals. And they tend to be the default, right? Like, you're a youth, you just woke up, you are already in a cave, you wander a little bit out of that cave, and you find a guy in a robe, and he goes, here's a shovel, you're on squig pen shoveling, dude.
Got it, boss.
Yep. Moon Clan are the only group that tames and raise squigs, specifically because squigs do not get along with snarlfangs or spiders.
No, I can't imagine.
No, they don't get along well with anything, if we're being real.
I don't think the giant spiders or the giant wolves would put up with the toothy meatballs. Those are
certainly
snacks.
I'm going to hand you the tray now so I can kind of point to and you can look at specific types of squigs. So we have all of our different types of squigs. Our default squig are just called cave squigs. They are squig, they are small, they are funny, and they are full of violence. Yeah, they are the little ones right there. There's like a red and a yellow one.
Big fan of these guys.
Yep, they're just little guys. You can see a squig herder behind them there. He's like holding cymbals, I want to say.
Yeah, he's got
or a
looks like
bagpipe.
awful
Yeah,
bagpipes.
yep. When very rarely do like normal cave squigs are like marched out to fight. Anything with a model is being marched out to fight, so that's why they have models.
Yeah.
But when they do, you can't like command a unit of squigs,
No.
right? So instead, you just get a couple of goblins to like have loud implements and just like direct them by like making loud noises and making them like move in that direction.
Yeah.
And then if they run into a group of people, they'll probably shred them because they're squigs. Yeah. The next ones are squig hoppers. Hoppers are bred to be mounts. So that's the one with the guys riding them up front there, blue and red.
They got lots of teeth.
Yes. They're a little bit bigger, but they're also bred to be lighter and to have longer legs for jumping.
They gotta hop.
Yep. In addition to that, before they are like sent out to a fight, they are fed mushrooms that specifically make them like really gassy.
Is that what this is?
Yeah, but squigs, well, no, that's just like a dynamic pose smoke.
Okay.
Squigs can't burp. They can't get rid of that gas in any way.
No,
And
they're
so
gonna explode.
they make them gassy. Well, they make them float. Because goblins have perfected the equilibrium you need to make a squig just floaty enough that if you put a goblin on their back, they can jump really high and still come back down.
Incredible.
That does mean that if like the goblin gets knocked off, that squig is just floating away. But yeah, yeah, a hopper without a rider will just float away. But they offer like goblins untold like mobility, even if they're hard to control. They tend to bounce a little bit when they like land instead of landing nice. Squigs are inherently dangerous even to goblins, and so people who ride squig hoppers are usually divided into two groups. Most are collectively referred to as hoppers. That's the guy on the taller one on the blue squig.
Oh, it's really hopping?
Yep. That's just any goblin who is like on the back of a squig is a hopper. A goblin who has experience riding a hopper and can actually like direct them pretty well and has like adopted like weapons more befitting like a cavalry, also like lances and stuff. They're called bounders, and they are given better equipment. You can see that guy's a little bit more heavily armored. He's a little bit more experienced.
Cool lance type thing.
The
long stick.
The default amount of experience to be promoted to a bounder is surviving one outing riding a hopper.
That makes sense. Yeah, I understand.
Because most grots don't. They're bad.
This is not really meant. You designed them for this, but not like designed them for this.
Yes. We have snufflers, who we've already mentioned. That's the unpainted guy right there. He's got a snuffle squig.
That's awful nose.
Yep.
I love it.
I said bred with like big noses on their foreheads to sniff out prime mushrooms.
Oh my mushrooms on his back.
Yeah, goblins are uniquely good at like culturing mushrooms and stuff, but even they aren't like there's varieties that are harder to find and stuff, and so snufflers help with that. They also get marched out to battle sometimes to like find mushrooms on the battlefield, because
Neat.
goblins' mastery of like mushroom stuff means that oftentimes if they find like good mushrooms on the battlefield, they can just like hand those out in the moment to help with the fight. Yeah.
Hey, nice.
We have bat squigs, who I don't have here because I
Yeah.
couldn't find my my rabble rouser. He's the one with bat squigs.
Oh, I
But
hope he's okay.
yeah, he's fine. I'm sure he's just in a case somewhere. But yeah, they're just squigs with bat wings. They flap. Used for scouting sometimes, and also as projectiles.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You just point them at a guy, and they fly over and bite him.
Yep.
Spore squigs emit dangerous mushroom spores. They can also be bred to just like release like a constant cloud of spores to like cloak other goblins.
Nice.
The guy with a big mushroom on his head there has a spore squig on the bottom of his base. He's a little to the left of the
This guy.
Yep,
Oh.
just a little bitty spore squig on his base.
Oh my god.
Yep.
This is the one I want. I bet they're the ones you squish and the
Yes.
spores go.
You just go. Poof. Yep.
I like that they all have moon,
Yeah.
Just-
right.
like crescent moon, on their armor, on their like helms, in their weaponry.
The guy with the mushroom on his head, if you look, he's got like a little metal chin attachment
Oh yeah.
meant to make his head more moon shaped.
That's incredible.
Right? Listen, never say they aren't committed.
It's a scorpion tail too.
Yeah.
That's
I don't know
crazy.
why. Yeah.
It's aesthetic.
Yeah. Bug stuff.
Going for a vibe.
We have Nasha squigs, who are like squig hunting dogs.
Mm-hmm.
They're a little bit better trained. They're bred up a little bit more for loyalty. Yep, you're holding him right there. He's got him on the end of the little like hunting harness there, so he can kind of direct him a little bit. They are very territorial, and so they don't breed like a lot of Nasha squigs. They're usually exclusively kept in the employ of like goblins who specialize in squig care. That's what that guy is.
Hey, good job. Way
yeah.
to take care of the squigs.
Yeah. And then we're going to get into the big varieties. We have giant cave squigs. Here's a fun fact. Squigs never stop growing.
Oh, just forever, huh?
Yep.
So they're all giant cave squigs if they live long enough.
Yes, just most don't because
Most don't.
they're violent and they're not above like cannibalizing each other. So that's a giant cave squig. That's just what happens to a cave squig if it lives long enough. And particularly nutty goblins will try and ride giant cave squigs. That's what you're looking at
so
there.
Odd.
Right. He's just mostly teeth. And he's schmoovin'.
Moving. They all have these little like nub tails, but when they get too big, the tail doesn't keep growing with the rest of
No,
it.
it doesn't.
And that's incredible.
Usually the kind of like goblin who will ride a giant cave squig is like promoting up from bounders. They're just either they're like preternaturally lucky or they're like really good at riding squigs, and so they're just moving up to the next rank, and now they are like instructing other goblins on how to ride squigs.
Incredible.
Is the idea. And then our biggest variety, mangler squig.
Mangler is a great term
Right.
for this monster.
Yep, that's our two buddies there. That's one of my favorite models in the entire game because fucking look at it.
It is great.
Right.
It's so dynamic.
Right.
Also, there are a total of 4 goblins.
Yes.
And one is definitely about to fly off.
Yep.
He looks like he's tubing. He's 12 years old. He's tubing with his brothers, and their dad is really trying to whip him off.
Manglers are what happens specifically when hoppers get too big, the like ones that they breed for riding. If you let the manglers will just go, right?
Mangle?
They'll just destroy everything. And so if manglers start to get too big, if squigs start to get too big before they become manglers, goblins will just chain 2 of them together, give them a slap on the butt, and point them at something, because they will destroy everything in their path, and they'll probably get worn out and die. And you can't keep them around because they will destroy the entire cave system.
So this is the only option, really.
Yep.
Just let them go out doing what they love.
Yes. Sometimes it's notable that the guy on like the giant cave squig is like, okay, you're really good at riding squigs, so we're like, you're gonna keep moving up the hierarchy to where you're riding like a giant cave squig. People who ride manglers aren't that. People who ride manglers are crazy
Yeah.
because it is an instant death sentence. Like, that's not going to go well for you.
No.
But, like, if you are a goblin
You're
and
crazy
you're
and no
like...
one likes you.
Yes. And so sometimes that just happens. Sometimes they don't die immediately when they ride,
Oh, God.
ride manglers, and they start earning a reputation for being good at riding mangler squigs.
I don't think that reputation lasts for very long.
No, but it is the kind of thing that gets you a big enough personality to attract followers.
Ah, there it is.
We're not going to talk about him because he doesn't have a model in like our famous faces area, but I am going to mention here one such goblin. We don't know his real name, but he is referred to as the Overbounder. And he has the explicit goal of jumping over the bad moon to take its powers. This is a very goblin goal.
Excellent. No notes.
He is so successful at riding mangler squigs, he did manage to attract like a like-minded cohort. They are called the Jaws of Mork.
Yep, that
and
makes sense.
is
Perfect
just
name.
all the people crazy enough to ride squigs. To his end goal of jumping over the bad moon, he has employed various tactics, including breeding bigger and bouncier squigs, riding blindfolded so the moon can't see him coming.
Sure.
Sending out groups in front to try and wrangle it back towards him. Singing really loud so it can't hear him coming. Yeah. Notably, we don't know what he's doing now because the last we saw of him, he did like have his mangler squigs jump really high and then just no one saw him come back down.
I was gonna, you know what? I thought you were gonna say, you know what? And last time we saw him, he was in the process of going over the moon. We don't know if he landed it though.
We don't
He
know.
basically said that.
I mean, he might have. Yeah, he's crazy. But that's squigs.
That's the squigs.
There's a bunch of them. They're great. They're silly. Their thing in game is that they have a random movement characteristic. So like most units move like, oh, this can move 4 inches on his turn. Squigs can move.
Is this Bottle Snatcher?
No. He is. We're actually gonna talk about him here in a minute. He's of a similar bent, though. Yeah. Yeah, of course.
We're gonna swing right back.
We're swinging right back to it actually.
Sit here. I don't want the cat to knock it down.
We're gonna talk about wizards.
Wizards.
Moon Clan wizards specifically. Because they are one of the more magically gifted. It's really them and Spiderfang are like the magic ones.
That feels right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that feels right to me.
And their Moon Clan wizards are wholly dedicated to like the wrangling of the moon and like mushroomomancy. Because
Mushroomancy?
Yes. The wrangling of the dank. Many goblins state that their explicit goal is to usher in the ever-dank situation in which the bad moon's light shines over everything, and goblins can be in ascendant.
Okay.
And to that end, they do the things that they do.
Listen, we all want what's best for our communities.
Yeah. We talked a little bit about like the kind of big personality you have to like successfully lead a group of goblins for any amount of time. Most wizards are smarter than that, so they just don't. Like,
No.
We don't have a lot of like
I don't think you'd
wizard
be able
leaders.
to get to be a wizard. It takes more time
Yes.
than it would you would get if you were, in charge.
Yes. Many goblins start the path in the Moon Clan specifically start their path to wizardry because they are also like oracles of the bad moon. They can sense where it's going. They can hear its voice. And so they pursue magic to better interpret its signs. I could just mention that guy. That's just a normal goblin.
I'm just really admiring his shield that looks like the moon.
Thank you.
And his little like hand scythe that looks like the moon. And the little charm on his hat that looks like the moon.
Yeah.
I'm admiring this little guy. He's awful and I love him.
Man's got an aesthetic.
I like that everyone has committed. No one's showing up from the cosplay group chat in the wrong outfit.
Yes. In the grand scheme of things, like on a ranking of wizards, goblins on the whole are better at magic than like ogres or orcs or kind of their cohorts in like the Gorkamorka Club, but not as good as like elves, right? And part of that's circumstance. Like no goblin is spending a millennia mastering like the weave of the arcane.
Yeah.
They are learning back alley magic from a guy named Dave in a weekend, and then they're going to go use that to fill someone's head full of mushrooms, right? In game, that's reflected by like you'll have armies that bring like one wizard and that's all they need, and that's like an elf army or like sometimes like stormcast armies will have a wizard and that's all they need. And usually goblin armies have like 12.
Yeah.
And none of them are good. But
no, but
you
they
have
all
a bunch
know
of them.
something different than the others.
Yes. Our baseline wizard doesn't have a model anymore, and I never got one before they went out of commission, but I'm going to mention them anyways. Madcap shamans, that's just the baseline. Like, you know some magic, you're a madcap shaman.
Yeah, okay.
Fungoid cave shamans are the upstep from that. That's our buddy with the fungus hat.
Hey, hot fungus hat friend.
Yeah, except it's not a hat. That's his head.
Oh, that's just his head. That's good.
Yep. Fungoid cave shamans commune with the bad moon, and they have reached the conclusion that they will get the strongest connection to it by like integrating fungus into themselves.
Okay. I guess it's fair. The moon shows up and it brings,
Yeah.
or it sends fungus ahead where it's going to go somewhere, so it's not a crazy connection.
They got their mushroom antennas tuned to bad moon frequency, and they're jiving.
They're happy.
Fungus screws up their bodies. That's why they have like that thing that's a scorpion tail is actually his like holding his spine in place. Yeah, it's a prosthetic. He's got the big walking stick, and the bug on the end of it who helps him like move. And he's got the spore squig to cover his advance because he's not very fast and he can't like get out of the way of stuff very good. But he's much better at magic as a result.
Okay.
Yep.
For sure.
Yep. And then we have my favorite.
Okay.
This is going to be the group of 5 back there with the guy with the bottles.
Yeah.
That is a Gobbapalooza.
Gobbapalooza! Man, there's a lot of kids who found out that they were conceived at Gobbapalooza.
Oh, no. So
Not goblin kids, obviously.
no,
but.
certainly.
Well, actually,
yeah,
no,
probably.
probably a lot of youths were
Yeah.
conceived at after Gobbapalooza.
Yeah. Gobbapalooza is a like naturally occurring kind of like social structure within like goblin society.
Okay.
It's weird. It's like if you took goblins and put them in isolation and like some of them learned magic, they would naturally fill the roles that Gobbapalooza does.
Okay.
There's just something like baked into like goblin wizard brain that
Just
any
how they work.
Yes, every clan has at least one Gobbapalooza. Big ones will have many, and any leader worth their salt uses the Palooza as advisors. Because they represent all of the facets of goblin society.
Okay, that's wise.
Yeah. Talking about them each individually.
Okay.
We have our fungomancer. That's the guy riding a mushroom.
Did just clock that this man was riding a mushroom.
Yep. Fungomancer has the deepest connection to growths and spores. They can encourage certain species to take root and discourage others so that only the most beneficial ones are filling the caverns.
Well, there's a little mushroom down by this walking mushroom split. That's cute.
Yep. They have a completely encyclopedic knowledge of all the realm's mushrooms. It seems to just get like beamed into their brain, and they are
there
fuck
little
nut
mushroom men on
crazy.
this?
Yes,
Oh
they're jousting. Yeah, they are completely fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Something about knowing too much about mushrooms just like drives them up the wall. But a weird outcropping of that is that they are also pretty magically potent. And so they do just tend to hallucinate all of those little mushroom creatures around them.
Oh God!
Yes, those are the living dreams of that mushroommancer or shroomomancer.
So they're not real,
Fungomancer.
but they are real.
They are real. Like
Okay.
they
But
will.
He's making them real.
Yes. Yeah. If he dies, they disappear. But like if you get too close, they will jab you because they're real in that sense. But he has no control over like them existing or like
They're just
manifesting.
He's just
It's just his
hallucinating
hallucination. Yep. They are the dreams of a goblin obsessed with fungi.
of a fungi-addled mind.
Yes.
Okay.
And so yeah, they again cannot like he could not like walk into battle if he tried. He's just like too whacked out of it. So they usually manifest those big like stock shrooms is what that's called.
Stock shroom.
Yeah, he's stalking.
I mean, no. I did. Yes. Yes. I was just sad to hear it out loud. Not marching, stalking, and stalking is the worst verb of mushroom could be.
True. We have our
Chasing actually would be a worse.
chase shroom. Yeah.
No, if like this shroom is stalking, that's upsetting. This shroom is chasing. That's worse.
Yep. we have our two halves of Goblin Alchemy.
Okay.
Spiker and Brewgit.
Okay.
Spiker has all the bottles on his back.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, and Brewgit is the one with the big like contraption strapped to like a tree branch.
Oh, that makes sense. It's got like a cauldron that's brewing.
Yeah,
Okay, that
he's
does
got
make sense.
he's got a boiler on his head.
I do see that.
Which is very funny. He's got coals in it.
They're all crazy.
Yep. It is unclear if this was always the case or if it was like a later development, but at some point, goblins made the very wise decision to split like the branches of goblin alchemy into good for goblins and bad for goblins.
Interesting.
So
okay.
Brewgit handles potions and like things that you want to drink if you're a goblin, and Spiker handles poisons.
That's very smart.
Yep,
For
absolutely.
goblins to do that. Look
Absolutely.
at the specialties.
Yeah,
Wow.
don't grab that bottle and drink it. Spiker's carrying. So spikers tend to test their poisons on themselves and undergo experimentations to make themselves hardier to their effects. So that's why that guy's a little bit spidery. He has a little too many limbs.
Yeah, he does have a little.
But yeah, so they happily like they're a little bit like crossover with like spider fang stuff because poison. But they are like technically considered like part of the Moon clans. But yeah, like I said, experimentation on self, growing some extra limbs makes your potion work easier. Easy as that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Brewgits are constantly whipping up potions for their fellow grots to try. They're instrumental in like a couple of different facets of like Moon clan warfare. Everything from strength to bravery to like making people explode all fall under like Brewgit. Their most sacred duty though is preparing hallucinogenic fungus brew.
Nice.
Which
I think that guy's already got it.
yeah is something that when Palooza need to like appear on a battlefield for like wizardry stuff or to like help the troops with like potions or whatever, they will douse themselves in hallucinogenic fungus brew beforehand, which gets them so fucked up it like inures them to physical harm.
That'll happen.
Mechanically, how it works in game is that the first turn of a battle, Gobbapalooza have a 50% chance to completely negate damage. Second turn of battle, that's down to like a 60%. Third turn, it's down to like an 18%, and then it's gone because it wears off over the course of the battle.
That makes sense.
Yeah. The guy standing on top of a squig skull with the big sun mask is a scaremonger. They're oral storytellers and motivators.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
No, I'm a big fan of the scaremonger.
Yeah.
And I love his little outfit.
Yeah.
He's got the mask and the bells. And he's got his like buddy.
Yeah.
Providing like spooky ambiance with the skull running underneath him. Wow, I really like this one.
You can picture the guy carrying the skull like doing a little dance and like the scaremonger's like striking dramatic poses on top of the skull, right?
Yeah.
It's great. Like I said, scaremongers recount all the tales of like goblin society. They're called scaremongers because most of them are about how everything's bad and it's hard for a goblin. But their most like ancient and important story is the tale of Glareface Frazzlegit,
Great.
Goblin's ancient enemy, the sun, who they call Glareface Frazzlegit.
The sun. Yeah, that makes sense. That does make sense.
Their big one is usually like an origin story for squigs, like this tale of why squigs and goblins hang out. They say there was once an ancient god beast named Boingob, who found Hish's light so aggravating that he attempted to leap at and destroy it, only to be charred to ash by its heat and light, his skull crashing into the ground. And so the squig skull that he rides is meant to be like effigy of Boingob.
Oh,
Yeah. And so that's why they're carried around on squig skulls. That's meant to be the origin of like, and so squigs were forever like allied with goblins who could find cunning ways around like to bring down our ancient enemy, the sun. It's great. Finally, we got Boggle-Eye. That's the guy with the staff, like, spitting smoke up there and the real big eyes. Yeah.
Oh, real big eyes.
Yeah.
And just a real unhappy looking little dude.
Yep, it's because he's hypnotized.
Oh, there's two unhappy looking little dudes. Are they both hypnotized?
Yes.
Damn.
Boggle-Eyes are masters of suggestion. If Scaremonger is meant to be, like, motivating and, like, oral tradition, Boggle-Eye is the harsher side of control. Boggle-eyes learn magic and psychological trickery to mesmerize goblins and non-goblins alike.
Shit.
Many clans are led by bosses who are secretly mesmerized by their Boggle-eye.
Of course.
And just no one knows it. Or they do know it and they don't care because, yeah.
They're just going about their day as long as they get to try to dismantle some sort of like societal construct.
Yeah. There's one of the books about goblins that I quite like. The main character like makes a point of mentioning every time he's meeting with his Palooza that he has to keep just like avoiding the gaze of his like Boggle-eye as he tries to just like, hey boss, look over here. You want to look at me while I talk?
No. Do you see that? Look at that. Look at me. I'm on a horse.
But yeah, that's Gobblepalooza. Like I said, every clan has at least one. They just kind of naturally form as like goblins learn magic.
I really think that's so interesting. I really
so
like that as like a world building cultural lore component.
Yes. And then like big clans will have lots and lots. The biggest single clan we'll talk about a little bit later is when we're talking about our famous faces. Is the King's Gitz. They operate out of Scrap-a-Spill, which is a big, like, old Caradron, like, scrapyard, basically.
Nice.
And they have hundreds of Paloozas, because it's just, like, a massive complex of, Gits. We'll talk about, like, non-Wizard Moon Clan real quick. I'm going to speed through these a little bit, because they're just all kind of variations on a theme.
Okay.
Non-Wizard Goblins tend to take on Boss as an honorific. So we have Loon Bosses. That's our man standing on a mushroom with the big sickle up front. Yeah, that's him.
There he is.
He's a Loon Boss.
Oh, I've been admiring his helm.
Yeah,
like the helmet great. Is very good. It's a total moon.
Hell yeah.
I think that's neat.
Loon Bosses is just any goblin who's tough enough, bossy enough, cunning enough, or all of the above to command some amount of control. They don't tend to live very long because they're not usually like big enough personalities to prevent themselves getting offed. But ones who want to dissuade betrayal or just like make a bigger name for themselves, that's how you eventually end up with ones like riding squigs. The guy on the cave squig is also a loon boss. He's just a loon boss riding a giant cave squig.
Oh, okay.
And then you get him riding manglers for the same reason as well sometimes. Squig bosses are a bit weird. That's our buddy with the like Nasha squig down there. Squig bosses also squig bosses are the like weird bug kid of like goblins, basically. Like goblins all appreciate squigs, but like you have to be weird to like squigs as a goblin is kind of the idea.
Even as a goblin.
Yeah, is kind of the idea. But squig bosses are like, no, squigs are great, and I'm going to show y'all. I'm going to learn all of their like habits and weird mannerisms, and I'm going to be real into them.
I'm going to tell you all about squigs at every opportunity.
Yes. Squig bosses learn all the mushrooms that like uniquely affect squigs, and they carry them in like big pouches into battle.
Nice.
And so they'll just like run out in front of a like herd of squigs and toss out like a bunch of crimson death caps or yellow lurkers or any of these like mushroom varieties. And when the squigs eat those, suddenly their teeth are poisonous, or they can run extra fast, or like any number of like weird things.
Nice.
Like, yeah. Like I said, I couldn't find him before recording this, but rabble rouses are non-wizards, non-bosses. Like they don't look for like leadership in the clan. They've decided that their best way to stay alive is just to be helpful in non-leadership ways.
Smart.
Smart. And to that end, their strategy for commanding respect is to learn the subtle art of directing monsters who accompany Gitz to war. So they are like monster wranglers, except instead of being like caretakers and like learning the ins and outs and stuff, they mostly learn the subtle art of taunting them mercilessly and then running away.
You know what? That works too.
Yeah,
that works too.
That's why they're called rabble rouses.
That makes sense.
They're good. And then one last Moon Clan unit we're going to talk about, who is very goblin-y. It's that man with the ball and chain there.
Really excited
he's
about
been
this
coming
man with the ball and chain here.
That is a fanatic. Imagine you're a goblin.
Done.
Just yeah.
Replace the cornfields with mushrooms.
Yeah. You're small. You don't have any particular prospects you have lived around other goblins all your life. You know that life for a goblin can be brutish and short, and often there's not a lot of like accomplishment in it.
Gotta marry well.
Yeah,
I have very few prospects, but I have.
Yep.
Sorry, that's never use it. I have few prospects, but I have to marry well. It's my family's relying on me. I am the eldest. This is my responsibility.
So you're just living.
I'll bring my sisters into society. Okay, I'm done. Tell me about this goblin with this great fucking spiky ball.
Right. So you're just living your goblin life. You're down in the tunnels. Maybe you collected some cool mushrooms today, and the Brugit comes to you with a proposition.
Mm-hmm.
He says, "Hey, the shaman says the bad moon's coming. We're gonna make a move on like this settlement upriver, and I want to offer you the deal of a lifetime. You're small, you're weak. You could march out there with the other goblin masses, maybe get a good trick over on some humans and really like feel alive for a minute or two, lost in the crowd. Or I can give you the fucking craziest concoction we have and make you feel like a bomb going off for that fight. Like I could make you Superman, but just for a little while. Is it better to live the life of quiet contemplation, fellow Grot? Or do you want to be a hero?
Ooh. Do you want to live long and silent or burn bright and fast?
Come on, Goblin Achilles.
Yeah,
Take the bargain. Yeah.
On the same page with Goblin Achilles.
So goblins who take the deal get labeled fanatics because you'd have to be crazy. They get loaded
Do goblins
up.
often take the deal?
Not super
Does
often.
the Brewster?
Brugit?
Thank you. Does he just go down the line and be like, you want to make a deal? You want to make a deal?
More or less, Palooza tend to be tapped into the kind of like social realities of the clan. So maybe he picks out someone who's like not feeling great about like their contributions, or he can tell us like, we'll take a deal of like burn bright with me in this moment. But basically you load a fanatic up on, I mean, it's meth. It's goblin meth.
It's goblin meth. Okay, yeah.
Just makes him crazy and like violent and remarkably strong.
Yeah.
That weight is probably 50 pounds, which is completely insane for like a human being, let alone a goblin.
Yep.
And
It
they
smells really good. With, like
Right.
the motion, and it's got like the way it's like his body and hips are turning, and one foot is like lower or back behind the foot that's actually in the air because it's following the momentum. Like, this is a really, really good sculpt.
It's one of the best kits. They come in a group of 5 and all of them are doing a different pose.
That's
like there's
very
one
good.
who's like on his very tippy toes and you can tell he just barely has his finger still on his flail. And it's like
Nice.
getting away from him. But yeah, like they load you up with goblin meth. It has an immediate effect, so they immediately like tie you to a plank.
Okay, bye.
And they have like the rest of the foot goblins like carry your plank into battle. And then when the time is right, they like cut you loose and give you a strong push toward the enemy, and you mulch them. You turn them into goo with your big flail, and you feel more alive than any goblin has ever felt, because you are taking down people 3 times your size, and it's all through your own power. It's not cunning or trickery. It's just you.
Yeah, I can see the appeal for that for the little goblin guys.
Right.
Without any prospects.
Right.
No balls to go to.
Right. And now everyone's hand is already taken.
The season is over.
Yep.
And you've gotten no offers.
I'm gonna talk about Spiderfang real quick just to wrap the episode.
Spiderfang!
I don't have their models with me because, if I'm being real, they're either old or huge. You've seen my skitter strand.
You do in fact have a spider that lives in the house now.
Yeah.
And I like its colors.
Yeah.
And I'm also a little upset about it.
That's my skitter strand. He real big. Because Arachnaroks are real big. Like I said, lived on Neferata's front yard. all the different skitter
Do they
strands.
still live on Neferata's front
They
yard?
do. Neferata now treats them like scary dog privilege, where they just like, or maybe canary is like a better metaphor, where like they just live there, and now they have like the allegiance to the giant spiders. Because like vampire politics is all betrayal and backstabbing as well.
Vampires.
If someone tries to make a move on Neferata's territory, they do just have to fight the crazy goblins in her front yard now, and usually that creates at least enough of a racket that she can also mount a defense if the goblins don't just take care of them, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Listen, once fucking interdimensional spiders show
Yes.
up and then pack bond with the goblins, I guess the goblins just get to live there now.
Yeah.
And you look for the silver lining. At least
Yes.
they're useful.
yes. I'm gonna mention like a couple of like big names here. These are like different clans because I think they're kind of neat. Spiderfang have like a weird amount of lore for like how underrepresented they are in models.
Oh, interesting.
That original Spiderfang tribe in Neferata's front yard are called the Grimscuttle tribe.
Okay.
They rebranded since everybody started calling themselves Spiderfang now.
Yeah, you do have to like establish some sort of like brand identity.
Yes.
They got Xeroxed. What a bummer.
Yeah, that's just the whole thing with them now. They live in Neff's front yard. They're her early warning system that other vampires are trying to make a move on her territory.
Great.
Cool.
Love that for her.
Yep. We have the Frazzle Shun.
I'm just picturing a bunch of like really violent, ugly garden gnomes.
Pretty much, yeah. We have the Frazzle Shun.
Fragile Shun is fun to say.
These ones live in the like rocky cliffs and stuff of Hish. So they stay out of the light of Hish by living in these like deep canyons and stuff.
Okay.
But they do raids on Lumineth territory in Hish because they've developed a completely insane like technique for fighting Lumineth.
Okay.
So they have learned a way to like infuse the spiders they work alongside with like Ulgu's darkness magic.
Okay.
And so they take the silk that those spiders spin and they bundle it up into these huge like fish nets. And when they get into a fight with Lumineth, who are used to always having light, always having like visibility and stuff, and know that like goblins are weaker in like direct light, like a small company of Lumineth will roll up to fight like a bigger group of goblins, knowing that they have the upper hand because of light, and they will just like shoot this like spider web fish net out of a catapult into the air where it will spread and suck all of the light out of the air.
That's so scary. Oh my god.
It's a huge nighttime fish net bubble. That's
The fuck?
wild.
Incredible.
And then they win because it's pitch dark now and they weren't expecting that.
I mean, yeah. Who's
Yeah.
expecting that?
Yeah. And then similar to like the Overbounder who we mentioned before, I'm mentioning her here because she doesn't have a model, but she's noteworthy instead of our like famous faces. Boss Seven Eyes.
Boss Seven Eyes.
Yeah, she is a Ragnarok spider.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense because
Yep.
I was like, Goblin
Yep.
pronouns.
Yeah.
Not the same
Yes.
as the others. Okay, it's a spider. It's not a goblin.
Yep.
Fine. Boss Seven Eyes, and that makes sense. Oh, she lost an eye.
She lost an eye. Yeah, we don't know how. We don't know a ton about her, but I'm mentioning her because she's basically the only famous Spider-Fang character. She's a big spider. She is an Arachnarok who has specialized herself on hunting vampires. She pops out of the webway and she snatches vampires, like almost exclusively, to the extent that she is now a giant spider with vampirism.
I think I can guess how she lost one of those eyes.
Yes, probably to a vampire. If I'm making a guess.
She has a vampire?
Yeah, she is a giant spider vampire, which is wild because that's also already basically what a spider is.
Yeah!
Like,
I hate it, but I love it.
yeah, right?
Fuck yeah.
She's great. I'm a big fan. We've been like, I've been thinking that we were getting her model for like ever. This is a tangent.
Yeah.
But there's a thing that Warhammer does called the rumor engine, where they post like a hyper close-up shot of models that they have in development. And it's meant to like drive hype and like speculation and stuff. Cool. The oldest currently unsolved rumor engine is literally just like a spider's face with one of its eyes gouged out. And it's like, that's Boss Seven Eyes. You can't tell me that's not Boss Seven Eyes.
Yeah, we know one we know 2 major characteristics about this character, and this is half of them.
Yeah, and that rumor, like the average time for a rumor engine is like a year and a half. That rumor engine has been unsolved, no comment for like 4 years. Like,
did they just give up on it? Did they back off?
Something had to have gone wrong in production or like something, because like
I can't believe they haven't released the giant spider with vampirism yet. Right. That feels like it's printing money.
Right.
Who doesn't want to send a giant spider with vampirism onto their like fantasy battlefield?
Right. It kicks ass. But yeah. That's MoonClan, that's Spiderfang. We're going to cut this episode here because it's already getting long, and we're going to save Troggoths and Gitmob, our wolf boys, for next episode. It's going to be a 2-parter on the Gloomspite Gitz.
2-parter! And really, Dalton just wants to spend more time on goblins and make you listen to more Goblin Talk, which is very good.
Wrong. But in the meantime, thank you so much for joining us once again. I have, as always, been your... Glareface Shaman, Dalton Montgomery.
And I'm Darian Smart. And Anne of Green Gables was a really weird reference to make for this one.
Bye.
Take care.